walking in to the salon, the Fold, that first time before you opened, and I was like, oh my God, it's Bottega.
And at the time, I thought we were just opening a salon, right? But there was so many more elements that naturally grew from it. When the salon is so busy, I look around and I'm just so grateful. The first 2 years in business, I did 6 days a week with a newborn baby. Like, nobody sees that. They just see what I do now. And being able to travel, I'm like, I love this life we created.
I think it's very important, and I think I can definitely be the one to tell you this, that you've worked damn hard.
It was probably in the second year of business. Lenny, my son.
It's really personal. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. You're doing a great job at it.
You just keep going. You don't stop. You keep going. And I think even when you have setbacks, just know that there's a lesson in that. My husband, he's what grounds me.
Are you ready to embrace the best version of yourself? I'm Jen Helliwell, design and fashion creator, and I am on a mission to inspire, motivate, and uplift women to be just that through my platform and podcast, This Girl Can Talk. Hi there, and welcome back to the pod. Today's guest is not just a powerhouse in business, a creative genius, and a beauty inside and out. She is also one of my very dear, treasured friends. One of the hardest working women I know, someone who has built a brand and a life that absolutely blows me away. Her salon, The Fold, isn't just a place to get your hair done. It's a sanctuary. It is calm, it is joyful, it is deeply intentional, just like her. Every single person who walks through her doors is welcomed into her world with love, care, and a sense of belonging into what truly is her fold. She is the queen of color, the boss of her own brand and business, a proud wife and mum of two, a woman who casually runs half marathons and makes it look super easy. She travels the world with her beautiful family and still somehow shows up for the people she loves, without fail. So today I get to do something really special. I get to help her share her story with you all. Her journey, her truth, the highs, the lows, and the fire that keeps her going. It is so inspiring. So sit back and enjoy this treat. My little love, welcome to the pod.
Oh, Jen, those words. I'm like, thank you. I feel like we've spoken about the pod for so long now, and I'm so honored that I get to be a part of it because, you know, I've known about the pod from when you were first had the idea to now. It's incredible. So thank you.
Well, we finally made it happen because you are a busy lady.
I know. So I'm excited that we get to do this today.
And I'm honored to have you here, darling.
Thank you.
We're going to be diving into the beauty behind the brand, the calm behind the chaos, and everything in between. But before we start, you look fantastic. What are you wearing?
So today I knew I get my look right, although I don't have my heels on because it didn't work with the outfit. But today I'm wearing all Aussie. So Silk Laundry blazer. They're amazing. They do beautiful little dresses and sets. And then my skirt is from Sneaky Link, which is another Aussie brand. And my shoes are La Tribe, which is actually New Zealand, I think. But generally always Aussie.
Always Aussie with you. Of course. It's gorgeous. You look fab.
Thank you.
Always do. Can you take us back to day one and what made you start The Fold, your empire?
So I think that I'd always worked for other people, obviously. And, you know, I think your clients become so much more than clients. And I wanted to give people a really, I guess, thoughtful, enjoyable experience. And I felt sometimes the salons I were in didn't give them that same feeling that I wanted to give people. So I think at the root of it, that's what I wanted to create. I wanted to create a really beautiful space where people felt like valued, I guess, and not just my clients, but the team around me as well, right? So yeah, I think that's what it kind of grew from. And at the time, I thought we were just opening a salon, right? But there was so many more elements that naturally grew from it because I wanted to create this community, I guess.
It is
Yeah.
so. I remember walking in to the salon, the Fold, that first time before you opened,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my God, it's Bottega. Remember? And I was just like, look at this place. And because obviously with my design, like aspect, and I was just like, oh, and then the experience of the Fold and everything you've brought to it, it's an experience in one, and it's beautiful.
Thank you. And I think that's when my sister-in-laws designed it, and that was one thing. They were like, they wanted people to walk out feeling like they had a big warm hug. And I think the interior does that without us even doing anything. So yeah. Yeah.
So you've created a brand, a salon, products, a loyal following. What part of that are you most proud of?
I think the people within it. I think it's taken me a couple of years to surround myself with the right people, but I couldn't be prouder of the people I get to work alongside, but also the clients and friends that are in our fold, and I think that I never realized what I was trying to do until I did it. And I think now that I have such a beautiful support network and a great team that are around me, I think that's what I'm so proud of, just the people.
That's really lovely. And that's so important, isn't it? Because you can build something, anything, but the people, it creates the energy in the space. And I think that's what I really pick up on about the Fold. It's an energy. It's a calmness. And if there's a vibe that you pick, I mean, you're often on your stories with that sage going around, and that stuff works. But it does. And that starts from your Fold, your family with the girls, the Foldies, and you put a lot of time and effort into that. You do a lot of team stuff, you do breakfast, you do outside of work, and that's a huge testament to you.
I'm a big one for culture. I think that was something that was lacking in my career. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I think that culture was lacking. So for me, whenever I do something, it's to make sure that the girls are looked after, but also that they grow from anything that I do. So that's one of my priorities, definitely.
So nice. Oh. So the big buzzword at the moment is manifestation, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone is talking about manifestation. I love it. Mm-hmm. I love like goals and aiming high and things. So of course, when you were thinking about starting the Fold, you would have had ideas and what success looked like for you.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in when we get there, or we get further along that path of getting there, because you're always growing.
Yeah.
What does success feel like to you now compared to what you thought it might feel like?
I think when we decided to open the salon, I think what we thought success would feel like is financial freedom, and earning all this money. And I thought that we'd be really well off by opening a salon. And I think anybody in a small business knows that it's not as easy as that. So I think originally I thought it was financial freedom. Success for me now, there's so many different things, right? Like success for me is one of my stylists recently hit her target and she was so happy. And for me, I'm like, I helped her on that journey. That to me is a success in itself. When I get to spend time with my kids on my own terms, that's success for me. When I can travel with my husband and the kids, like that for me is success. I think I've gone from having material things as success to now it's just memories and experience and helping people. I think that to me is success now.
It's so lovely, isn't it? It's so nice to hear that and hear that over and over, because it's something that is so common, I think, amongst people. It's like that. Usually it's the money gain or the material things.
Yeah.
And then when they come,
Yeah.
it's a bitter disappointment.
That's exactly it, Jen. Like I thought once we have a certain number in the bank, I'd feel at peace and like I've made it. But you get to that and you're like, oh, no, that doesn't fulfill me as much as I thought it would. So now I guess, yeah, success for me is what fulfills me. That's, if I get to do something that fulfills me now, that's my success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's people.
People, always people, which is weird because I'm an introvert. So I guess on a one-to-one level, I love being around people and helping them.
So nice. Well, the community and the feel, like to be in and around your feel, like, people come in just to come and be at the family table.
I know, have a coffee at the family table. I love it. Yeah. We have one client that comes in. Obviously she gets her hair done every so often, but she'll just come in and work at the family table and get herself a cup of tea. I'm like, I love that. I love that people feel comfortable that they can do that, because I think I always talk about the salon like it's my home, because I want people to come in and feel like they're in my home and they're welcome and they can sit and chat to us about anything and we'll listen to them and they'll feel heard,
And that's so funny. It's like my dad, like the ultimate entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
He calls his office his home.
Yeah.
So it's like the fold, the salon is your office, it's your home.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a beautiful way for it to be, because you spend the majority of your life at work.
Yeah.
And it should be a beautiful space that you love to be at. And
yeah.
We're 5 years in, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 years.
This is our 5th year.
Yeah. And has there been a moment yet when you've stopped and looked and thought, wow, I did this?
I was talking to the girls about this morning, and Eve had said to me, she goes, I would do that every day. Like, do you not come in here and go, oh my gosh, like how amazing is this? Like, and I said, no, I don't. I don't have time to reflect enough. But every so often when the salon is so busy, I look around and I'm just so grateful. I don't do it enough, but yeah, it's not often that I will sit there and reflect and be like, look at what we did. It'll be often like when Gyps and I are traveling and being able to travel, I'm like, I love this life we created, so yeah.
But also I think it's very important, and I think I can definitely be the one to tell you this, that you've worked damn hard.
Yeah.
That hasn't come easily. You've worked really hard, and you deserve every travel trip you take. You deserve every tiny day or week off that you take.
Isn't it funny though? I think anyone that's in business, I don't know how everyone feels, but like I used to feel, and I still do at times, feel guilty when we go away and take time out. But, nobody, the girls that I work with see how hard I work. And the first 2 years in business, I did 6 days a week with a newborn baby. Like, nobody sees that. They just see what I do now and that I travel a lot. And I almost feel guilty, but also like that's what fills my cup. So do the things that make you feel good. That's what fills my cup. So if we can, and I'm grateful that I can. And I think when you work so hard, you need a reward. Like for me, knowing that I'm going to smash out the next 2 weeks, but then I get to have 2 weeks with my babies in Bali. So I think it's important to also reward yourself when you work so hard.
And I think as well, there's always going to be, I don't like the word the haters, because it's just seems absurd to me. But I think when you're at a stage in your life when you know yourself so well that you know exactly what you've just said, that I know that I work damn hard. I totally, I don't need anyone else's say so or approval.
Yeah.
So then you genuinely enjoy your time off.
Yeah.
You enjoy the time you work. You don't need to worry what other people think.
Yeah.
And you get to that stage and it's just like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
I think my mindset has changed so much from when I opened the salon. Like I felt like I had to be in there all the time. Whereas now I've done a lot of work on myself, but it's like I know that the girls can handle the salon when I'm not there. I can step away from it. And that's what I built as well. I built a really strong business structure that I can step away and be okay with it. but I don't need people to see the work I do behind the scenes. I know what I'm doing. I know that I'm still working hard on other businesses to get them to where the salon is, for example. But yeah, I think my mindset has changed now that I don't need to constantly be in the salon for it to be a success, because I have a great team that can do that as well.
Well, I think that's in two stages incredible. One, that you've managed to build a team that you can trust to run that salon for you, that your baby, basically, because that's incredibly difficult to do, and feel comfortable to do that. And also the fact that you, as a boss, manager, owner, have been able to do that, because that's not a difficult thing to conquer, because a lot of people are not able to delegate and are not able to give up control.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes my husband says I delegate too much. But yeah, I think it's important. It's important because then that allows me to go down different avenues as well. I'm able to build another business. I can focus on other projects that I want to focus on because I have that, foundation there.
Yeah, and you can still be a mom and a wife and all the other things that you are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get juicy. The hustle and the hair.
Okay.
How do you manage running a salon, a foil brand, a home, 2 littlies, travel, and still manage to show up on your socials? Indulge us, please, Supergirl. What is the actual secret?
I am so structured. I think you and I both know, I get up at 5 a.m. every day. I go to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. That's how I start my days and get myself set up for success. If I don't go to the gym, my day's off.
We're the same, yeah.
And then now I have boundaries. So I structure my week so that I'm not getting overwhelmed. It doesn't always go to plan though. This week, I think I was posting on my stories yesterday that I was like, this week's a lot. I'm dropping a few balls here and there. But then I just make sure that from Monday I've, set my clothes out at the start of the week.
I love that you do that.
Yeah, honestly, it's a game changer. It's one less thing out of my head.
See, I started to do that. I got myself a clothes rail and I started to do that. And then it just kind of went out the window. Now there's just some random clothes on the clothes rail, some others in cover, but I'm moving. So I'm going to set myself a goal. Yeah. I'm going to do an M goal.
Honestly, it sets you up for the week. And it's just being organized. I have to be organized. And it's just, structuring my week so that I know on Wednesdays, for example, that's my client day. So I can't do any meetings. I can't focus on my foil business. I just have to do clients. My Saturdays are for our kids. So that's a non-negotiable. So it's just having structure to it and trying to keep that. But like I said, I do burn out every couple of months. And someone said to me that it's normal for entrepreneurs to burn out regularly because we're constantly going up and our, stress levels are so high and we're constantly building, that you get to a point where you've had too much. And I think I know now as well with burnout, when I'm starting to burn out. Jip's my husband as well. He knows that when it's time to take a step back and make sure that I've got time away from everything. But yeah, I think having that structure in place reduces my burnout as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. What's one misconception people have about being a successful woman in the beauty industry in Dubai?
I think everyone thinks that I just go in and get my hair done every day and have coffee and chat to everyone. And I should do a Instagram post because I literally get out of my car. I've got bags. I've got my laptop. I've got, all the things, and I carry it into the salon. I'm there at 7 a.m. every morning before everyone gets there so I can try and get work done. It's not as glamorous as I think people think it is. There are sides to it, which is beautiful when I do have the time to chat to clients and stuff. But most of it is you're just constantly trying to keep your head above water and get all the admin side of things done. It's not as glamorous as we all think it is.
Well, I see you when I'm in there and if Steph's doing my hair and you're like, Jen, I'm going to talk to you. And I'm like, chill. Do what you need to do.
Yeah, you get pulled in a lot
and you're on your feet all day.
And I think it's just also with our jobs, right? We have, 6 to 8 clients a day. So you're going from really high energy to sometimes people come in and are not doing so well. So, you know, you're constantly managing that. And then as the business owner, people want to talk to you as well. And you're just constantly trying to match people's energy to make sure they're being looked after. And that can be a lot as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
That's something, because, you know, we definitely have had conversation about this. People will use you and the girls,
Yeah.
probably unintentionally at times,
Yeah.
as therapy.
Yeah.
Because you go and you're there for maybe 3-4 hours sometimes, and it just all comes out. And that's a lot. If you, like you say, you're seeing 7 clients.
And I don't think people realize how much like we actually care. I think that, you know, I remember a couple of years ago, one of my clients was diagnosed with cancer, and I'd done her hair for years, and she came into me so that I could shave her head, and I couldn't do it because I was so emotional about it. I was just like, I've known you for like 6 years. I didn't feel comfortable with it. And it's, again, building those relationships, and we genuinely care. Like, we're in the service industry, but we're in the people industry, right? So like, it's a lot sometimes, and you know, that client will leave, but we'll still be thinking about that conversation. You know, that doesn't leave us, and we mightn't see that person for 6 weeks. So, you know, they'll come to our mind a couple of times in a week until we see them again.
Yeah.
You know, so it is a lot. And I think people value that with us as well. You know, like they appreciate, we don't just do hair, you know. We're in the, Jip says we're in the make people feel good business, and that's what we do. We want people to feel good. So if we can take that off of your plate so that you feel a little bit lighter, I mean, that's what we love as well.
It's really personal.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job of it.
Thanks.
This one is, I'm sure, a tricky one. It has been. Has it been hard to manage a team of women who are also your friends?
Yeah.
And how do you navigate boundaries, conflict, and keeping that good vibe going?
I think it's also hiring the right people, which I don't always get right. I must say my team at the moment are incredible, and we do a roast at least once a month together. But the girls in our fold now are just really good humans, really good humans. There's times where I have to sit down and be the boss, but they respect that, you know. So I think the thing is, when you have such a tight-knit team and you're the boss but you're their friend, you create those boundaries. You know, the girls know when they can come to me on a personal level, but they also respect me when I have to come in on like a boss level as well. So I think it's just hiring the right people. And like I said, the girls are just amazing.
Yeah.
So, and it does just take one bad egg to like disrupt that. But right now, I mean, we all just want the best for each other. So we all respect each other.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And you can feel it. And I think that's what's important for you, especially because clients feel it.
Yeah.
If there's something up, like you say, one bad egg, you can feel it. And I know, like, you know, because we're honest with you, but both me and my sister are clients, and we'll like say, we have to tell her, you know, if
there's been a couple of times, hasn't there? I'm like, I know.
We're so close that we will tell you and be like, it's off.
Yeah.
She's not a fault.
But again, it's like, that's what I love. Like, obviously, you and Ames are friends of mine, but like, I love it's almost like we have like-minded people within our community. Because there's a couple of clients that are similar that will be like, oh, there's been 1 or 2 stylists that maybe weren't quite right. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm working on that. But yeah, so I love that everyone's similar in that sense.
In it together.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny as well, like even like along the way, like when I met Bex at an event with Kelly, and she was like, Em's my stylist. And it was just like, I just hit it off. They're just, it feels like your clients, I mean, toot my own horn, but it feels like your clients are nice people.
They are.
It's like the fold attracts nice people.
You know, I actually said that to a new stylist starting. I was like, we just have good humans that come in here. Like, I think that if we ever, you know, we've had a couple of people that maybe don't gel with us, shall we say, that don't come into the salon anymore. And I think it's because we attract the right people for us. So, you know, I'm grateful that we're able to have these beautiful women in our fold.
It's
you know?
really nice.
Yeah.
It's a good space. Okay, let's get to the emotional core.
Okay.
The struggle behind the success, kind of the messy middle.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about a time when you seriously thought, I can't do this. I just can't do it anymore.
It was probably in the second year of business. Lenny, my son, he was 3 weeks old, and my first team member resigned. And I was clearly not sleeping because I had a 3-week-old, but I was devastated. Like, that just broke my heart. I'd never had someone leave before. And I was devastated, and she was going to one of my friend's salons at the time, and I was just like, I took it really personally. And then I think probably 4 weeks after that, I had another 2 people resign. And I was just like, so I think at this point, Lenny must have been, 8, 9, maybe not, maybe he was 8 weeks old. And I remember sitting at the family table with Kirsty, my manager at the time, and Jips, my husband. And I sat there just crying, and I was like, there were clients in the salon, and I was crying. I was like, close the doors. I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And I think that looking back now, I'm like, how did I get through that? Because it was such a dark time, when you still, like, I was still postpartum. Had this newborn child. I was trying to show up for my 2 kids, show up for my team, and it just felt like everything was out of control. And I was like, I've got this beautiful salon. I'm trying to create this amazing culture, and I've got people leaving me. I took it really, really personally, and that was tough. That was really, really tough. And I think that, again, looking back at it now, I needed that to happen because I wouldn't be the business owner I am now. I needed to go through the struggles. I needed to lose people really early on so that I know now, like, when people leave now, not that it happens often, but when people leave, obviously it's hard. But now I put a plan in place because I have to prepare the business for loss of income, for the uneasy feeling that the team might feel. But now I look at it and I'm like, when people leave, it gives your other team opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
What I've learned from that situation is everybody's got their own life, right? Like, nobody owes me loyalty, as much as I have some really loyal team members. Everybody's on their own journey, and I have to respect that.
It's such an important message, I think, to send out that to any business owner or business startup, that's a lesson in growth, and that's going to happen. It's going to happen. People are going to move on.
Yeah.
And as hard as it is in that moment to accept it as a good thing, it is a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I've learned, one of the many things I've learned growing through business and from my father is that he always taught me that never allow someone to be an employee to be unreplaceable because they could go tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to fill that role tomorrow with someone else that can take over their shoes, because the minute an employee becomes unreplaceable, then they hold that power over you.
Yeah. And I think for a long time I felt like I felt like everybody was not replaceable. I was like, how can I get somebody as amazing as this? But you attract the right people as well. And actually I quite enjoy building people up now. So, bringing somebody new on board excites me because I can help them get from, one client to building their column right up until they're fully booked. So that excites me now. And I think the last time one of my assistants resigned, Kim, my receptionist, was like, Em, are you okay? Because I almost had no emotion. And I feel like I have to take my emotion out of it, because then I get reactive. If I'm emotional, I get reactive. So for me now, when things like this happen, I know my plan. I know what I need to do. I've created a very successful salon. So it's just remembering the steps,
This is one of those moments when you're like, wow, I did that. Because look at your growth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's beautiful.
Exactly.
So beautiful. So proud. Have you ever felt like you had to hide how hard it was just to keep up appearances?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Every day. I remember when we first opened. And so Isla, who was born prematurely, wouldn't recommend starting a business with a newborn, but she was born prematurely, and I think it was day 1 or maybe day 2 of opening, and somebody had come to me and asking about their visa process, and I think I had about maybe an hour or 2 sleep that night, and I was literally like, I'm just trying to get through the next 5 minutes. Like,
Google it.
yeah. I was just like, and I remember turning away from her, and I started crying in the cupboard, and I was just like, I'm doing the best I can right now. Like, I am in fight or flight. I am just trying to get through the next 5 minutes. And again, I think I've grown from that now. And I think now when I have stresses, at times I'm not good at hiding it. Yeah. But also my team know when I'm, say end of month when you're paying salaries, that can be really stressful. But I think my team also know that when I, not to come to me for stuff because they know I've got a lot going on. But I do try to hide a lot of it because I want to show up for my team every day and I want them to feel really supportive. And if they can see that I'm struggling, like, I just don't think it helps them have a productive, successful day. So again, it's like sometimes I let my guard down and let it all out, but I try to hide as much as I can because also it's my choice to run a business and it's my choice to have these stresses. So I don't need to put that on anyone except my husband.
Exactly. This is it. It's about finding, and that's another growth piece, right? It's about finding the outlets and the appropriate outlets, no matter what you're going through in life, whether it's in your business, in your personal life, you can't, not the right words, but you can't verbal diarrhea it out to everyone, like it's, your kids need to see a version of you. Your employees need to see a version. You put different hats on.
Yeah. And I think the people that I let it all out to are the right people. It's my super close friends and my husband, and they know how to just listen because that's generally what I need. I just need to get it out, and then the next day I'll be like, okay, I've got this. I know what I need to do. But I try not to let my team see me stressed too much.
No, because they need to come to you with their stress.
Exactly. And I think they pick up on that energy as well. So when you're trying to create a really calm space, I'm not perfect, but I try to not let it show too much.
Kind of perfect in my eyes.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay. Is there something that you're still struggling with right now, even though you're so super successful?
Probably just putting too much pressure on myself, which I also don't think that's a bad thing, and I don't think I struggle with it as such, but I think at times I kind of wish I would just be like, it's okay to just not be on, or I probably struggle also with being present with my kids, which is a huge one for us at the moment, especially when you're in the middle of building your brand or whatever you're working on. So for me, I'm probably struggling with just being present. But again, just going back to, I've got some time next month with the kids, and so I'm going to really value that. But I would say, that would be the only thing I'm really struggling with at the moment. I feel like this year I've really stepped into myself and I have a confidence about myself now, which I don't know where it came from. I think it's just, you build resilience and growth as well. But no, I think the only thing I'm struggling with is more time with my kids. But I think any parent would say that as well.
I think that's really normal.
Yeah.
Like this is leads me on to, what do you do when the guilt creeps in, the mum guilt, the wife guilt, the business guilt? And that's it. I think there's no, probably, I mean, you tell me, but is there an answer to that? No, because it's a battle, right?
Yeah. And I think anybody that has kids and works, you will always have guilt. But it's putting things in place. My husband and I lock in date night once a month. My husband's love language is quality time and physical touch. So I know we need to make sure that we have our date night and we have our really in-depth conversations regularly. I think it's just making sure that you're always not scheduling, because you don't want it to be like regimented, but just making time for those things, and it kind of helps with the guilt, you know? Yeah.
Closing down with the inspirational part, because you are massive. So reflections and lessons. If you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting out with their dream project, what would it be?
I had somebody recently come to me in my gym class, and I guess he comes to, we have chats quite often. And, you know, he said to me, I find you so inspiring. He's like, how do you do it? I see you always hustling. And I said to him, when you have a vision and you know it's going to be successful, you just keep going. You don't stop. You keep going. And I think even when you have setbacks, just know that there's a lesson in that and you're going to grow from it.
Yeah, like rejection is protection, right? And anything that is just like a detour in the right direction. Yeah. What's something you used to believe about success that you've completely changed your mind on?
I believed that like having the financial freedom would give me everything I wanted, and it hasn't. Now for me, my success is different. It's those memories and time with people, because we don't get time back. We can make the money back. You know, if you lose all your money, you can. And that's one thing Jip said to me when we were opening the salon. I remember I had a full panic attack because we'd lost quite a lot of money at the start, and then we kept going with it. And he said to me, I was like, you know, what if it doesn't work out? And he said, what's the worst thing that can happen? He's like, we lose all our money again. Like, we're young enough to make it back, right?
That's so nice how it's come full circle from the beginning of the episode to now nearly at the end. And I had cause to change a lot of frames in my house. I had large photo frames in my bedroom. So one in particular that I changed, I just did it quickly, and it was a temporary change, but it's now stayed next to my bed, huge on the wall. Was just I think I got it from Etsy or something. It's this big poster, and it says, what if it all works out? And it's the first thing I look at night, and it's the last thing I look at night and the first thing in the morning. And it's like, what if it all works out? And I think that's such a poignant, important question, because I want to make sure that what if it all works out is, like you say, the right idea of success, because the most awful thing is to be disappointed if what you think you want is not what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's so nice. Okay, what grounds you when you feel like it's all too much? What's your go-to to be like, oh?
My husband, always. Always. I mean, you know Jips, and you know how amazing he is. But when things are all too much, he's what grounds me. He's my rock. He's always been my rock and my biggest supporter and cheerleader. Like, he's just such a great guy. And I'm so lucky that he knows what he needs to do when I'm, you know, not at my peak. And yeah, he grounds me every single day.
That's giving me like, oh, that's so nice. The nicest. You two are just like a powerhouse couple, like the nicest, most. I remember coming over to your house, and Jips was just, because Jips is kind of like the most, he won't mind us talking about him, will he?
No.
He's the most calm, like, he's like, he doesn't even really say much, you know, like he's just like man of quite few words, and typical, like he was out in and out of the house. Isla was tiny, and he was barbecuing, and he loves to barbecue, right? And he builds his own barbecues as well, right? So he was just, and I was just like, God, this is just so wholesome. They've just had a tiny baby. They're building, and it was just like, you guys have got it made. Like you don't even have a TV, right?
We don't have a TV.
No, you're just goals.
Yeah, I think he's got two older sisters, so I feel like they've really helped shape him.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a keeper for sure.
He really is. And you're a keeper.
Thanks,
you complement each other. Okay, we've got to the final one, but we've got a quick fire round.
Okay.
So the final one is, what's next for the Fold?
What's next? So I am working on 2 projects which I haven't launched yet. And I think everybody thinks I'm opening up another salon, but I'm working on 2 other things. And basically it's more to do with helping other people is what I will say. So I'm really excited the direction I'm taking, and I just feel really fulfilled at the moment. So I'm excited to see where it's going to go. But yeah, so big things are coming soon.
Of course they are. We wouldn't expect anything less, my darling. So thank you so, so much, my darling girl, for coming. I have loved watching you grow so much and thrive. And I cannot wait to continue and see it just build and
Thank
everything that
you.
happens. Because you're one of my besties.
Thank you, Jen.
But I'm not letting you go until you answer my quick fire questions.
Okay.
What's one Instagram account you're loving right now for beauty inspo?
Maybe not so much for beauty inspo, but fashion inspo. Renee Marshall, she's an Aussie hairdresser who owns a salon back home, and I get so much inspiration from her. But also Nat Jacobson, she's a fashion stylist back home. She does a bit of beauty as well, but her style is incredible.
I really love all the Aussie brands.
Yeah.
They're just, like for me, it's like getting something that's different.
Yeah.
And you always look so good as
Thank
well.
you.
A podcast you never miss an episode of?
Usually I always listen to Diary of a CEO, Stephen
Oh,
Bartlett.
yeah.
Love. I haven't missed an episode of your podcast, Jen.
Oh,
So that would
thanks.
be my other one that I haven't missed an episode on.
Have you listened to Ladies Who Launch?
You have told me about
Rochelle
this one.
Humes, very
Yeah.
good. Very good.
It's
I
on my
love that.
list.
And anything Vogue Williams does. She's
Oh,
so funny.
yes. She's hilarious.
So funny.
Her and Joanne McNally. Oh, we saw
and
them,
she now
didn't
does
we?
one with her sister. So
Does
funny.
she?
So funny. Yeah. I die laughing. What's one beauty product you swear by that everyone needs to try?
So at the moment, I'm obsessed with, I don't know how to say it, Refy, R-E-F-Y.
Oh, yes.
The brow sculpt. Like, I literally feel like I've had Botox every time I brush my brows up, and they just stay there. It's beautiful. So yeah, that's my one product I can't be without.
This is what I love asking this question because I get all my tips. Yeah. Favorite brand or business run by a woman that we should all be supporting other than The Fold?
At the moment, I would have to say my friend Rach, who's a client. Well, she's more of a friend now. She just opened a little boutique called Showcase where you can bring in your clothes and sell them.
Oh, yeah. Everyone follow that.
Yes.
Follow it.
So Rach is doing amazing things, and I love seeing her journey
yeah,
as well.
it's a really cute concept. I love that. I'll put it in the show notes.
Yes.
One celeb hairstyle you would love to overhaul, and what would you do to it?
I wouldn't say anyone in particular, but when you see some celebs with hair extensions.
Yeah, really bad ones.
Really bad ones. Every time I see that, I'm like, no, babe, no. So no one in particular, but any bad hair extensions.
Do you know what? I love when you see a celebrity and they do like a really, really big makeover. Remember when like Victoria Beckham did like the pixie cut?
Yes.
She's really lucky. She can pull off some really severe styles.
She can, but I love it when it's kind of just below shoulder. She keeps it more natural. Like that's my favorite hairstyle.
That's how she's got it right now.
Yeah. I mean, people are still asking for her, what did we call it? Posh bob? Like the
pop.
The pop, that's it. I was like, what was it called? People are still asking for that bad boy. I'm like, really? Really? But yeah, it's still going strong.
She's pretty popular.
Isn't she? Yeah.
I love Victoria.
I do too. I do.
One hair trend you're obsessed with right now?
I would say I never go on trends. I go on what works with the person. So whenever I'm doing anything, and if you've ever been a client of mine, you know that I'm always low maintenance. What's the best thing for your hair? It's not coloring, highlighting it every 4 weeks. So it's not so much trends that I go on. It's more about what works with the person and their natural hair.
Good answer.
Yeah.
You prefer. Favorite travel destination you've had to date?
Or I would say Maldives.
You love the Maldives.
I know. We're going back again soon.
You know what you love? I'm going to out you on it. It's so funny. Remember when we first met and you were like, yeah, I'm just not going unless they've got the good champagne.
Yeah. They've got to have Bollinger at least.
I love you. One small luxury you think every woman should gift herself weekly just because.
This is kind of
Champagne.
probably champagne. Number one, always.
For breakfast.
Actually, I was going to say something really boring like time, but now that you've said champagne, Jen, that's way more fun.
Okay, champagne it is. Finally, girls' night or day? Are we in, out? Where are we going? What are we doing? What are we eating? What are we drinking?
I feel like everyone knows me. I don't go out past 7 p.m. It's
Everyone says
day drinking with the girls, a really nice lunch, home in bed by 7.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Our business lunches.
I know exactly.
Oh, I've loved our chat.
Oh,
it's
Jen,
so nice.
It's been so nice. And I'm
Literally.
so proud of you. Like, this was just the best. And I can't wait to see where this goes because you're incredible. You're so genuine and I love you.
Thank you, my darling. As are you. I'm so proud of everything you've built, everything you're doing, everything you're, and like, it's the whole little group of women that we've got surrounding us as well. It's beautiful and it's so nice to all be supporting each other. So thank you, my doll.
Thank you.
I'm going to put everything on the show notes, but tell everyone where they can find you, what you're doing.
So my Instagram, I've just changed it. So it's Emily Griffiths .official. Or my salon is the Fold DXB. But yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit more on my social media. So you can follow me. Watch me at the gym and at work if you want.
You're so good on all your stories and stuff. I have to get into doing this.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like a full-time job.
But it's really nice to watch. It's like a little TV show watching you. And I'm like, she's my friend. She's my friend. All right, my darling. Thank you so much. And
thank you, Jen.
Come back.
I will. I'd love to.
Okay, that's all for this week. But thank you so much for listening as ever. And please do follow, rate, review, all that good stuff because it helps me bring you more of what you would like and it helps me grow the platform and the pod. So until next week, get up, get dressed, grab your lip gloss and let's get fabulous together. See you next week.